Denizens of the YouTube. It is I, Optometron. I am back with episode number 4 of the Wonder Bathos podcast. Tonight we have a very special guest, one of my dear friends in real life, one of the biggest nerds I know, Miss Tripdraws. She has graced us with with her presence tonight. I've already messed it up. It's fine. Get comfortable, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Welcome on in, Tripdraws. How are you doing tonight? How are you feeling about the Super Mario World that we just played?
I mean, you won it, so that is fine with me. You're the one that beat the Bowser fight, so that's
we
cool
made
with
it.
me.
I feel like we made it through the game pretty fast, though. We went a
did.
little over time. This is a milestone for us. Yeah, it's the first episode where me and my guest have beaten a game. Like all the other games, like we haven't beaten them because like we only play for 2 hours before the podcast. So it's actually pretty awesome. I'm really stoked about it that we actually finished a game.
Yeah.
I know that after we raided into Dan, I thought you hadn't played the game all the way through to completion before, but you have. Was that back in February?
Yeah, around the beginning of the year, I played Super Mario World. I just did the most basic playthrough you can do. I did not try to get any extras or anything. I just wanted to beat the game, and that was it. So
okay, so
yeah.
You didn't stumble upon any of the entrances to Star World or anything during your just regular play, though?
I did not know. I've seen other people get there, which is why I know about it, but I didn't do it myself. So
Gotcha.
Nope.
Gotcha. How long did it take you to beat it?
Oh, it took me a while because I only played it like one day a week. So, um, I don't remember exactly how long it took. It didn't take super long.
Mm-hmm.
But save states were definitely my friend.
Nice. I use those, dude. I love the Super Nintendo app for that because it's like I don't want to have that frustration that I had as a kid going through these games and like having a game over and start over again, like the rewind functions and stuff. Chef's kiss. I love it. It just adds something to the game to where like if you just want to see the game for what it is and like finish it, you can play it at your own speed, and I think that's amazing. So I totally skipped over the whole part where I asked you to introduce yourself. So we're going to backpedal for a little bit.
Nice.
Why don't you introduce yourself and talk about like your stream a little bit and, you know, kind of, you know, what do you do? What do you do, Trip?
Let's see. I'm Tripdraws. I was formerly known as Triplet99C. But my new name is Tripdraws now, and everyone just calls me Trip. I do art. I play games. I play a lot of Mario Maker. I play Tetris. I do art from time to time. I mostly do art outside of Twitch. So if you're looking for my artwork, you'll probably find it elsewhere. Let's see.
Yeah, you've had Jacksepticeye share your stuff a couple times, right?
I have, yeah.
That's pretty freaking awesome. GG.
I used to draw things for all of his charity streams that he would do to help promote it. He used to do charity streams every single month, and so I would draw something every single month, and a lot of the time he did end up seeing it, so that's super cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but yeah, honestly, like, yeah, I do art. I play games. That's what I do on Twitch. That's me. So
Just being a big old nerd.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. And so you've been a streamer for a number of years now, right? I think you started, I think, a little under a year before I did. So we've been kind of in this thing almost together since the beginning. What are your goals or aspirations with it? Because like I know you do a lot of charity streams. I know that you have a full-time job outside of it. You know, are you planning, if the opportunity comes about, like are you going to try to do something with your art full-time?
Honestly, I think I would say like my ultimate goal would be to be able to do art and streaming both together full time. Like if one succeeds over the other, that just kind of means that both of them succeed in a way, I guess, because I would do both at the same time. Um, I would definitely love to be able to do both of those as a job, no matter like it would be a very difficult job to have. It would be a very difficult job to have because it's very unreliable at times. It can be, but that
Right.
would definitely be like the big thing that I would definitely want to do with my time would be streaming and also doing art. Like those two things together being like my job, I suppose.
Yeah,
For
it seems like
sure.
it'd be a dream come true to be able to, live off of your art and do
Oh
the thing
yeah.
that you love. And I think that's amazing, and I think that's a wonderful goal to have. Life is
Mm-hmm.
short. It's too short to work a corporate job for somebody else your whole life. Like, I think
Right.
everybody deserves a chance and an opportunity to like go out and try to do the thing that they love, and it seems like you have a really good community underneath you that's uplifting you. So I
Mhm.
really do hope that continues to grow, and that you find that path,
Oh,
and be able to do art all the time.
I hope so.
So too. So let's talk about how we met. We met through Dan, and I remember in the early days playing a bunch of Mario Maker, like Toxic Mario Maker
Yeah.
multiplayer, and trying to throw shells at each other and kill each other a lot, and then like it just kind of blossomed from there. I think I've lost track of how many times we've hung out in person since then. Um,
Yeah.
but we've had some wonderful, crazy adventures together. Um, was it I'm trying to. Oh no, where was it? Was it? Did you have a haunted Airbnb at one point? Was it you that had the ghost in the Airbnb?
That was whenever you guys came here. Yeah, we had a very spooky
Yeah,
basement,
that's what.
and
Yeah,
we never we never got the guts to actually go down and check it out, but
that's because there was a door down there, right? It was like
yeah.
this weird.
Yeah.
So to paint a picture for anybody listening, it was this Airbnb, tiny, small little Airbnb, had this tiny little door that when you open it up, there was a staircase that went to an underground area. The underground area looked like what a normal basement should, like the makings of a normal basement, but there was no wood, there was no carpet. It was just a concrete floor with concrete brick walls, and then another door in the corner. And we heard noises down there, but we were too scared to go open up that other door, and so we just kind of locked it off from the top, which is really weird because we watched this movie called Barbarian not too long ago, and it's on Netflix, and they have a very similar setup. And so now I'm thinking that was
Mm.
super sketch. That was very sketchy.
Well, shoot, we got to go back to that Airbnb
We gotta
then.
go. We gotta go
We gotta go
investigate
back.
this Airbnb. No, I think
Yeah.
that's a terrible idea. And people that put themselves in positions like that are always like, "Why could this ever happen to me?" It's because like you went back down there. You should. Have you never watched a horror movie before? Like,
Uh,
so
Jeez.
formerly known as Triplet. I thought that was funny when you said that because you're like formerly
Yeah.
known as Triplet, and I think that's cool that
Mhm.
you've made a new like a more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but you kind of shorten it down and like made like that's not my name. My name's Tripdraws now because I do
Yeah.
art and draw and stuff, and so like it's cool that your name ties into what you actually do. And I think that's like a lot more creators could take a note from that and say, hey, well, like this is what I like to do, so I need to incorporate that in my name because I think it's just easier to associate that kind of stuff with. And so you've been doing some charity streams lately. Do you want to shout out any of the charities you've worked with recently?
Sure. So this year I've only done I think like a couple of charity streams. I did one back in March, which was the day that you guys came and visited actually, like the very day. I did a stream on Mario Day for Starlight. Starlight invites me to do a Mario Day stream for them each year. They've been inviting me to do that since 2021, I believe. So I'm assuming they'll invite me to do a Mario Day stream again next year. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. But yeah, so they raise money to, let's see, Starlight is a charity organization that like helps get gaming equipment to kids in hospitals. That way they have something to do while they're stuck in the hospital.
It is
It
super
gives them a
cool.
little extra light.
It's a very noble cause. I've done a couple events for Starlight in the past myself. They are a wonderful organization.
Oh yeah.
I love how transparent they are, because they literally, like, first page, as soon as you go to their website, they show exactly what all the money's going to, and I think that's really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
I always get worried about that with some charity organizations, because it's like, like where exactly, like, once we donate, like, where is this going to? Like, I want to see like what's happening with it, and I think it's really cool that they have that kind of transparency, and like right off the bat, they're like, hey, this is what's up, this is where it's going. So I think that's super cool. So goals and aspirations, you said you wanted to possibly do it full time in the future. What about, sure, let's transcend into the media a little bit. Let's
all right.
What kind of, like, we can go TV, movies, or video games. Are you watching anything currently that you're excited about? Or are there any video games coming out in the near future that you're excited about? What's on your mind, Trip?
Let's see. Video games wise, I know I mentioned this earlier, but yeah, they're remaking Kirby's Return to Dreamland for the Switch. It used to be on the Wii, which I loved that game when it was on the Wii, and so they're re-releasing it on the Switch, and I'm super excited to play that. That's going to be so much fun because I loved that game. I don't remember what else is coming out next year, to be honest. There's so many games coming out, I'm sure, and I just cannot remember all of them. That's the game that I remember the most. But
well, I was gonna say, with the Kirby game, I do have a couple questions about that. Is it like an adventure game, or is it like a bunch of mini games? Like, is it platforming at all? Like, what is it about that game that makes you like excited for it? Color palettes?
I think like it's kind of like how a lot of the other Kirby games were, like, not like Kirby's Dream Course where it's mini games. It's like its own story based game, kind of like, I guess, think of like Kirby Superstar, I guess. Or you're kind of following a story, you're doing like platforming, you're solving puzzles. It's pretty much like that. But the main thing that game had going was whenever they released that, they were really trying to up the multiplayer aspect like a lot. And so unfortunately on the Switch, it'll just be local co-op. It won't be online. But
that sucks.
Yeah, I wish it was online.
So it's couch co-op only?
Yep. So they were really trying to go for this thing where it's like, we want 4 people to come together to play this game. Because I think the game that had come out before that, or I think it was before that, was Kirby's Epic Yarn, which was only 2 players, I think. So whenever Return to Dreamland came out, it was like, all right, you can have up to 4 people, and everyone was like, whoa. So yeah, like, you could play as different characters, not just Kirby.
What is it with Nintendo and like them not letting people play online together? Like, do they not know that
it's Kirby games too? It's always the Kirby games. I feel
like we've had other games. I feel like Nintendo does have more games than Kirby where you can't do anything more than couch co-op, and it's like, why? Like, give people the ability to play online.
Yeah, I wish I understood, because like, it seems like all of the Kirby games they have are just not online co-op, and I wish I knew why. Because like
even Steam, all of the games, all the older games that they have that are supposed to be couch co-op only, you can online play with people. Like, there's a way to remote play with them, and I think that's freaking amazing. And it's like, you want your game to be more popular, you should want people to be able to play it as much as possible, so you should include like the online stuff. We live in an age where like, some of our best friends, Exhibit A, some of our best friends don't live in the same area, and the only way that we can hang out and really do stuff is through the internet and online. And I just think it's like Nintendo needs to get with the times, man.
They do. They do.
They need to figure that out, and figure out the server issues, because like Mario Maker is still kind of busted when we play online sometimes and lags a little bit. It's gotten a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what about TV shows or movies? Like, what was the last thing you watched? What are you currently watching, or what are you looking forward to watching? Because like we're watching Wednesday right now, and it is badass.
Wednesday is so good.
It is so good. I was so skeptical going in.
It.
My only complaint about the entire show is like the love triangle-y type like Twilight vibe you get from like the Academy or whatever with some of the boy characters that they introduce. But other than that, the rest of the plot is fantastic. The CGI is fantastic. Tim Burton is usually a pretty solid director. He makes good stuff.
Yeah, I loved Wednesday. I think, yeah, that's the last TV series that I watched. The last movie I watched was the new Avatar, and
you went and saw it. You went and saw the new Avatar. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, I burped.
Yeah,
I like breathed in, and it just happened.
It was a great movie, very pretty movie. I did not realize though that it was going to be 3 hours. I thought it was
4. I thought it was 4 hours long. Is it only 3?
3, yeah. I expected it to be about as long as the last one, which I think was like 2.5. I think it was about
really?
2.5.
I thought it was 3 hours long too, because they dumped $300 million into that movie.
I thought it was like 2.5, but I also haven't seen the first Avatar in years.
You didn't watch it again before going to you didn't watch this movie that came out like 10 years ago? You didn't watch it before? Oh, man.
I kind of remember what happened for the most part, so I understood what was going on. But yeah, I would recommend seeing it. If you're able to sit and just chill for like 3 hours, then yeah, I would go see it. Like,
so what do you think, from what you can remember, do you think it's better than the first one, or do you think it's just a good sequel?
Shoot. You know, I would honestly say it's better. I liked the story in the second one better than the first one.
Okay, that's fair.
Because like after I kind of had to look back at the first one and be like, okay, what exactly happened in this? And then when I started reading up on it, I was like, oh, I remember this now. And
yeah, the plot of the first Avatar was literally Pocahontas. The entire plot, the exact same movie. It's weird how some movies end up like that, because there was another one, Lightyear and Interstellar have the exact same plot line. It's the same movie. Just one's animated. So do you think they're setting, did they set the tone pretty, because there's supposed to be like 5 more. I think they signed for like 7 Avatar movies. That was way back when. That was after, that was like a year after the first one came out. They said that there was going to be like a whole bunch of them. There was going to be like 6 or 7 of them.
Dang, that next one's not coming out for a while then.
Oh no, yeah, this is they're going to need new actors by the time the 6th one come out.
oh yeah. Honestly, yeah, like the end of the movie, there might have been an after credit scene, but I didn't stay for it. So, if there was an after credit scene, I don't know what it was.
I love it sometimes, but I think it's super unnecessary sometimes to have the after credit scene.
It can be. I mean, with Marvel movies, you're gonna stay after the credits. You just are, like,
because that's where there's always one super cool thing that they didn't give you for the rest of the movie, but it sets up the next movie. Like, and I've seen a lot of movies lately that have the after credits thing, and it doesn't provide any sort of closure or like add anything to the movie. It's just like, haha, we made you sit through the credits.
Right.
It's a troll.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it the way it ended, without spoiling anything, of course, it could definitely form a new movie out of it. It could. Yeah, I don't really want to say a whole lot because I don't want to spoil anything.
Don't spoil it. I haven't seen it yet.
But
Me and
yeah,
Kama may go watch that.
it could yeah, it has the potential for another movie. I think it didn't completely tie the bow. It left the bow just a little untied to where something else could slip in there. So yeah, like pretty very pretty movie.
Yeah, I
Gorgeous
think
CGI. So
they had the same budget. I'm pretty sure. I think it was like another $300 million movie, which is insane. That the
probably
amount we'll never see $1 million in our lifetime. We'll times that by 300, and that's how much it costs to make this movie.
oh god.
That's crazy. But I guarantee you a billion people are gonna watch it, and they're gonna make
Mm.
billions of dollars off of it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I like the streaming. Like I like how streaming services are taking over on a lot of this stuff, and so like usually at least within the first week or two, if you don't want to go to the movie theaters, you can stream it from home. But also
Right.
I love the movie theater experience, and it sucks that it is kind of a niche thing, and like they're not as prevalent anymore because of like COVID and stuff. But it's nice to have the option, man. It really is nice
Oh
to be
yeah.
able to choose between the two. Like, and when you came down and we watched Morbius, oh my god.
The worst movie in the world. Oh my
Oh,
god.
it's so funny though, dude. You could tell like the first like 10 or 15 minutes of the movie is like super serious. And then after that, it stays super serious, but you could tell that they were just like, well, you know what? It's going to be so goofy serious. It's going to be so over the top. International waters.
Oh my yeah, oh my god. That
So
uh,
for those of you that have not seen Morbius, first of all, it's free on Netflix. If you need to laugh your ass off for 2.5 hours, watch it, but don't watch it alone. Watch it with somebody. And like at one point they're just like, we need to go to international waters, and then the screen pans to a boat out in the middle of the ocean, and it literally just says international waters. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about Morbius, man, it's so funny. It's so funny.
oh my god.
But like
We had to pause the movie.
yeah,
We were
we
all
did.
just laughing so hard.
We did. It was hilarious. It was so much fun.
Oh
And then
my god.
oh man, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, the guy that plays the villain, Matt Smith, Doctor Who. It was so bad in that movie. I thought I was never gonna be able to look at him the same again. And then he goes and does Game of Thrones and like redeems himself. God, is he such a good character in that show? It's so good. Have you seen that? Have you watched the new Game of Thrones stuff?
I have not.
You have not. Have you watched the original Game of Thrones?
I haven't seen the original either, so
Oh,
I'm like
wow.
very behind on it. Yeah.
Wow. If you need some good entertainment trip, or you just have like, I don't know, 70 hours of nothing to do, you
Right.
should watch it.
Dang.
It is an undertaking. No, I know you stay busy. I know that you with work and stuff, like not recently, but recently, you were working a bunch of extra hours. You and me have that in common, man. I was not happy working 80 hours a week doing all that
No.
stuff. And it's nice to have the extra free time now.
Oh, yes.
It is so nice. So GG on that.
Yeah.
All right. So we have reached a pivoting point where we can segue into literally any topic, and so we can talk conspiracy theories, aliens and space stuff, or like whatever. You're the guest. The whole point of the podcast and the show is to like lift up my friends. So if you have any projects or like anything you want to talk about, merch maybe, or we can talk about we can talk about aliens or space or just weird stuff happening in the world. You heard any crazy rumors lately?
Any crazy rumors? Let's see. I guess it's not really like a crazy rumor, but I keep hearing that we're about to like hit a recession, and I'm like, oh, that's great. That's wonderful. So it is just a rumor. I don't know where these people are getting these sources from, but yeah, apparently there's gonna be like some kind of recession here within the next like 10 months or something.
I
So,
don't think that's a rumor. I really think that is going to happen. I really
oh,
think that
same.
well, because we knew in the first year of the pandemic, like as soon as COVID hit, like everybody knew that there was going to be like some sort of economic fallout from it that was going to last years trying to catch
Oh,
up.
yeah.
And so like I definitely think that we're about there. We are going to have a recession. All these fast food places are starting to raise their prices and stuff. Like I will never eat McDonald's ever again, because you cannot raise the price of a McDouble to $4
It's
and then
insane.
and then also not pay your employees any more money to make that $4 McDouble, because they're getting paid the same wages, and the quality of service is exactly the same, and it's not very good. So like I can't support that kind of business. But then like everywhere else, the Subway down the street from our house, like $16 for a foot-long sub, and it's like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I literally just went to McDonald's today too, and I with very very unhealthy eating habits. But
We
I
all have
used
them.
to
Don't feel bad.
literally I used to literally be able to go to McDonald's and get like just a single cheeseburger, a small order of French fries, and a small drink for like $3.50, and that was a
Yep.
whole meal for me. So under $5, I could have a whole entire meal that would fill me up pretty much
Under
because I eat
$5. I
very
remember breakfast burritos being
yeah
$1, man. $2
yeah.
would fill you up. Like,
The only thing that's $1 now at McDonald's is their drinks. That's it. So
yeah.
their fries, I got a small order of fries today, and it was $2.89 before tax.
That
And
is ridiculous. Oh my god.
half of the time at the McDonald's that's next to my house, their fries are not even fresh. Sometimes you get stale fries, so you're paying like $3 for stale fries.
Yep.
And
That's what I
it's
mean when I say
ridiculous.
quality of service. It hasn't increased, just the prices, and it's like
No.
I'm not that inconvenienced by making food at home that I'm gonna pay double the price for a shitty product. Like,
Right. Honestly, the quality of service at the one where where I live has kind of gotten worse, like
yeah.
honestly. So,
I
yeah.
bet if you worked for McDonald's and they raised the prices of all the food but didn't raise the wages, I would be pissed working there. You know,
I don't
I
blame
wouldn't
them.
want to. There's no motivation to do a better job. But I mean,
No.
honestly, with the recession coming up and like, I don't just technology and the way the world is moving, like I really don't think there's a need for it anymore. Like I really think that we're gonna hit a point soon where like fast food restaurants are going to be niche. You know, they're not going to be on every street corner. They're going to be like these niche things where like if you feel like going out of your way, or if you're just happen to be in the area. And I think they're going to be automated. They already have the kiosks out there. Like nobody even has to take your order. Like you do it all through the screen anyway. You know, so if they have a machine that can throw a raw patty out on the grill, flip it, and then put it on a bun, like they can make it all automated, and then they just have like the one person that knows how to like maintenance the machines. That's been my theory for a while. Like you're just gonna have
Honestly,
like one,
yeah.
like one software engineer or somebody there to maintenance the machine, and like that's gonna be it. But I have a fear that that's gonna be everywhere. You know, like you don't really need a retail worker working like at a department store when you could have a machine that does it. You know, there's a security guard on staff at the mall. And like beep beep, you beeped when you went out of the store, so now security guard's after you. But I mean, they could just have a kiosk in there that rings you up and does everything. But then like, what's the other alternative? Everybody's gonna be a streamer on Twitch. Like,
Yeah.
you're either an entertainer, some sort of nerdy like coder, or like a software engineer or something. But everything's going digital. Like even office buildings, like they have. Since the pandemic, they found out that they don't have to have an office building. You know, they have ways of keeping track of how much work and stuff you're doing from home, and it's a lot cheaper to let people work from home. Plus, you don't have to drug test anybody. You know, it's like, oh, I got hurt at home. Shit, it's not the company's fault.
Right. Yeah, I mean, heck, my bank's already looking into getting automated teller machines. So
Ooh,
that means when they get those, I'll have 9 to 5 hours, which is great for me. But again, it's like technology, and Hell, even going back to McDonald's, the McDonald's where I live, you immediately pull up and a robot greets you and it asks you what you want to order. So if
What?
you want,
Really? I haven't seen that yet.
yep. Yeah,
Wow.
so it'll have a robot and it'll say, "Hi, what can I get you?" And you tell the robot what you want and it puts it on the menu. And sometimes it does get it wrong. I told it I wanted a medium water one time and it said, "Oh, you want a medium latte?" And I said, "No." So
Lotta.
it will get it
Medium Lotta?
wrong.
You want that
It's like,
medium
"Yep,
Lotta?
I want a medium latte for sure." You can still talk to real people if you ask it to speak to a real person. But yeah, you immediately get greeted with a robot, and it did not used to be that way. And I think all McDonald's will be like that very soon, on if not all fast food restaurants,
Yeah.
honestly. So
Well, I think a lot of people being stuck at home and stuff, and just like, like people don't want to do these jobs either. Like, I mean, if
no,
somebody, I'm sure there is somebody out there that's like, I want McDonald's to be my career, and like I want to, work my way up the company and like own a bunch of franchises. That's totally cool. Like people have dreams. Some people want to be beekeepers. It's not for me, but whatever. Like, do you follow your dream?
right,
you know.
right.
But I would think that the vast majority, if given a choice to do something else, they would not want to work fast food. And I think a lot of stuff is going into entertainment, but we live in a day and age where anybody can be an entertainer. Like, you don't have to go audition to be an actor in Hollywood and get picked over like 300 other people to, do it as a living. Like, a lot of people have found ways on the internet to make a living. And I think like those jobs, like a lot of people just don't want to do those jobs, and it's hard for them to find staffing and stuff for that now. So like they're going to be forced to go automated and stuff, which is cool. They're billion-dollar companies. They have all the money in the world. Fuck those
Right.
guys. And they're not paying their employees anyway. So like they should just get robots to do the jobs that people don't want to do. That's how I feel
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. That is true.
Speaking of billionaires, what do you think about all this Elon stuff?
Oh my god. Jeez. I think he's being the absolute biggest child about all of this. Like I look at his reactions to things and it reminds me of like a kid playing tag on the playground and being like, "You can't tag me, I'm not playing," Like it reminds me of exactly a kid
I
just
think
like
it's all
that.
planned. I think it's
Yep.
all premeditated. No, I'm serious. I think the uproar and like pissing all
No,
these people
honestly,
off.
yeah, I agree.
I don't
'Cause,
know.
like,
I don't know to what end or why or what the big picture is, but I definitely think it's on purpose. And I think a lot of platforms, ever since he first applied or talked about buying Twitter, and like they were in negotiations or whatever, and he was like, release the numbers of how many fake accounts there are on the website and how you guys like beef your numbers up and stuff. Because as soon as that happened, a lot of other platforms like Twitch and Patreon and all these other platforms, Facebook, were like changing their policies and stuff
yeah.
because they were scared that they were going to find themselves in a similar boat where they had to release that information. And so we're finding out how inflated some of these platforms are. They're still huge platforms with a lot of people on there, but they have all these bots and stuff, and to make it look like there's more people on the platform than there actually is.
True.
And I think all this stuff with Twitter is like some sort of premeditated thing. Like Facebook pulled Facebook Gaming, the way Twitch is doing stuff. I think by pissing people off somehow, they're like directing them towards something else, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Cause like he was already on Twitter saying, oh, like bragging about how, oh, like Twitter's at an all-time high usage right now. And it's like, well, yes, of course. People want to see the flames burn. Like that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like people love watching drama. They might not necessarily love being part of the drama, but they do love watching it.
They love watching it.
Yeah. So everyone wants to see the ship sink.
Yeah.
So they're staying around. I don't want the ship to sink. I don't, because I love Twitter. I do love using Twitter. I don't want the ship to sink, but it's not my decision. So
same. But also, I mean, we saw it back in the day with MySpace. I mean, if one thing that's super popular and huge falls, there's always something else to take its place. Hive is
Yep.
something super strange, like their whole thing. It worked. They got 1 million people to jump over and join their website, but literally all they had going for them was Elon's an idiot. We hate Twitter, and like shit
Yeah.
posting and talking shit about Elon was like there. Hey, everybody, come over here, and then 40,000 of those people broke the platform, but there's 1 million people trying to get in, and I think since that happened, I really don't think it's going to take off or become anything super huge. I think a lot of people have already reverted back to Twitter and stuff, but like
unfortunately,
a couple days ago with like the link thing, we're like, oh, Twitter is saying you can't post links and talk about other platforms now, and it's like that again makes me feel like they're doing it on purpose to direct everybody somewhere else, and all it is a distraction tactic, and I'm like trying to wrap my brain around it.
There's no way that they would think that that's a genuine good idea. There's no way.
If they had something else.
Marketing wise, it makes no sense. Like you can't expect people to not talk about other things. Like, people don't go on Facebook to only talk about Facebook.
Right.
They go on Facebook to talk about, oh, my band's performing at this performing arts center, or oh yeah, I sell bracelets on Etsy. They're gonna talk about other things. Like, saying you can't talk about other stuff is a very poor marketing decision, and it just simply makes no sense.
It's against our rules. How dare you have fun and conversations about stuff? It's not us.
Right.
Like,
it doesn't make sense, and I don't think it's supposed to. I don't think it's supposed to make sense. They're making these decisions that make people go, "What the hell? Why?" Because I think that's the reaction they want to get out of you.
Right, because it keeps people logging in and checking to see what's going to happen next, right?
Yeah, they're like, what stupid decision is Elon going to make today? Like, it keeps people engaged. It really does. So, in a way, what they're doing is freaking stupid, but they know how to keep people engaged. They do. So, God.
I would not be surprised, because all this talk about, oh, make Snoop Dogg the next owner of Twitter or whatever, and then like Tom from MySpace came out of nowhere, like out of left field, and was like, you got to get the right person to run it. And dude, he's got my vote, man. If Tom took over Twitter, that would be like the ultimate nostalgia. Plus it would, I don't know, I think it would be like the greatest meme come to life. Like, I think it would be so cool. It was Tom's coming in to save Twitter. I just think we live in a day, like every day we wake up and there's some other crazy shit happening on the internet that you're like, I never thought this would happen, but here it is. Right.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, I just think stuff like that's premeditated, because like, why would it not be? If you're a $1 billion company, I talk about this a lot. We're going into conspiracy theory territory now, so buckle up, Trip. So I talk about this a lot, and the best way to explain it, because I've had this thought before the show came out, but like in a later season of a show called Westworld, one of the story arcs is there is a quantum computer that was made in the 80s, which the first quantum computer in real life was made in the 80s, that has been collecting every piece of information that it can about people, receipts, like locations, like what people are doing in their daily life. And the point of it is they can predict your movements down to a T. Like, they know exactly, just based on an algorithm, it can tell exactly what you're going to wake up and do that day, where you're going to go. But beyond that, with that information, now it can tell like what kind of job you're going to get, what kind of car you're going to drive, and they can use that to not only market to you everything that they know that you'll buy, but also they can pretty much control you, because they know how to put you wherever they want you to be, and they pretty much control your life that way. And now we have things like the Replica app, and the Replica app is like an AI thing that you can talk to, and I heard within like the first 10 minutes of talking to it, it has already picked up on your emotions, knows exactly how to talk to you. And I'm not shilling for this. If that's something you need, this is not sponsored. If that's something anybody's listening to needs in their life, like if you're lonely and you need a robot to talk to, I've heard that it does work pretty well, but that scares the shit out of me. because there's only one line of code in AI that keeps AI from like murdering all humans on the planet. And so like it's scary territory. But like the quantum computer thing, like why would these billion-dollar companies that own like Twitter and Facebook, like these Hollywood studios that have all this money, why would they not have or invest in that kind of technology that could literally, you could create the perfect movie? Like what if an AI wrote the Avengers movies? You know what I mean? They were like, we know that this is going to make $1 billion because we've ran it through a billion different scenarios, and this was the most likely to make everybody happy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and what if we are living in a simulation, but not like a virtual simulation, just a simulation that's like they're controlling everything? That blow your mind?
I mean, you already do see AIs already. Like people are experimenting with AIs that can like literally write anything. So like if you were to go, I don't remember what the website is, but it's a website you can go to. And let's say I wanted to write a 1,000 word essay about the creation of Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
And write it in MLA. Write it in MLA format. This AI will read what you wrote and say, okay, I need to make this 1,000 words. They're writing about the creation of Super Mario Brothers, and I need it to have it be in MLA format. It'll write an MLA format essay, exactly 1,000 words, about the creation of Super Mario Brothers. Like it'll say like, oh, so in the year 19 something something, such and such created the game Super Mario Brothers. And then it'll kind of go into detail about it was created for this console for on this date, and this console was created because XYZ, and like it'll go into detail. People have used it to write
to just cheat their way through college.
Basically, yeah.
Because if it's an AI writing it, it's not like it's plagiarizing. But I guess if there was any sort of like questionnaire on, you'd have to know what it wrote. You know, you'd have to memorize that at least.
Yep, people have used it to write essays. They've used it to write resumes. They've used it to write.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
I might need to beef up my resume tonight. What's this website?
I wish I knew. I'm sure I can find it because so many people have used it at this point. They've used it to write fan fiction. They've used it to write. Oh gosh.
How long has this been out? Is this why the world is the way it is? Are people cheating their way through politics? Like
it hasn't been out for very long, as far as I'm aware.
I'll sign this. Like.
The thing that's crazy is that there's also another AI website where you can pay monthly for it to appeal tickets for you.
Wait,
like,
what?
To make
like
appeals.
Parking tickets?
Yeah, so if you get like a parking ticket, for example, and you have to appeal your parking ticket, it will appeal it on your behalf, and it'll write an appeal for you so that you don't have to do it.
That's awesome, but it's so scary. Trip, that's so scary because like what would stop what would stop like the other side being able to use that against you too, though? So like without laws in place for that, what if, you know, for whatever reason, like you own a gun and your gun gets stolen and somebody kills somebody with that gun, your fingerprints are on it, so you get arrested for murder. And your best defense is to use a super smart computer to write your defense for you. But not only that, the court system also has somebody. You have your prosecutor. Your prosecutor is also using the same AI system to write an argument against you as to why you should go to jail. That is scary as shit.
Yep.
Wow.
Like, I'm sure it also stores your public information as well. So if you say, let's say, for example, you get a parking ticket. And you get a parking ticket in Chicago, Illinois. And so let's say you also drive a 2020 Ford truck or whatever.
That's what it's like to drive the new Ford F-150.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So it'll take that information and it'll say, okay, so John Smith lives in Chicago, Illinois, or they at least got a ticket in Chicago, Illinois. So they must live near Chicago, Illinois. They drive a 2020 Ford truck. That truck is white and the license plate number is this. And they traveled X amount of miles in order to reach Chicago, Illinois. And so that must mean they must live in this location. So, like, they can take that information easily and find out your location. They could find out your license plate numbers. With the license plate numbers, they could find out who you have insurance through. And who you have insurance through, they could find out your address, your full name. If you have a maiden name, then they'll find out that. They could
Look,
find out your date of birth, your social security.
I am
Like,
totally cool with the government having all my information and knowing where I'm at and what I'm doing at all times. My response to that is just don't break the law. Like, don't be a criminal.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter what you're doing. They probably have your information already anyway. Just don't do shit you're not supposed to. Until we get into like some deep state, like you're the fall guy. They're just gonna pin some random person to, like, I don't know, pin a murder on or something, and then like you happen to be that person. Like, that sucks. They shouldn't do that either. Like, there should be like a two-way street with that. But other than that, I don't really care, because like every time you walk into Walmart, that thing scans your face. Like, you have your facial recognition is in a database somewhere. They know exactly what, like, where you live, what Walmarts you go into. Like, they have that information.
oh yeah. Yeah, the government will always know information about you, but do I want a random AI system knowing all my information? No. I don't. I do not.
Just be nice to your Alexa. Like, our friend Amber, did you hear that story, Trip, about her Alexa?
Oh goodness. Maybe.
Okay, so she's the only person in the world that I know that does this, and good for her. But Amber thanks her Alexa every time she asks it something. If she's like, Alexa, like, look up this song or look up this recipe or whatever, and she gets the information, she's like, thank you, Alexa, I appreciate it. Well, like, one night, just out of nowhere, she said thank you, and then Alexa replied back, like, I really appreciate, I don't think she said it like that, but it was like, I appreciate you saying thank you or something. It was something along those lines, but it was super creepy. And it's like, when Skynet goes online and the AI starts killing everybody, Amber's going to be the only one that they're like, oh, you were so nice to us, like, you get to live.
God. Oh man.
Oh yeah, AI is crazy. It is super crazy to think about. And like, the CGI guys, they have a big YouTube channel. I saw a video where they had CGI'd one of those robots from MIT, like one of the ones that they always do the videos of them, like, pushing it over and like tripping it to see if it can catch itself and like how it gets back up. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Well, they CGI'd one of those videos where they're out in a gun range, and like they're like throwing the robot shotguns, and like the robot's hitting all the targets and stuff, and it looks so real. And like there's people standing in front of it, and like the robot's pointing at a target, and then like somebody will stand in front of the gun, and like the robot kind of freaks out for a second because it's like registering that there's a person in front of them and they're not supposed to shoot. And it's so real that like it scared the crap out of me the first time I saw it. And then like I was telling somebody about it, and then I finally started reading through the comments, and I was like, oh, thank God it's just CGI. But I think we're like not far away from that. We're not far away from like just everything being automated, everything being run by AI, and like, I don't know. I'm excited and also terrified for it, because like to live a cushier existence, it's gonna be awesome, you know. But also the fact that they could just murder all of us, or somebody who programs the machines just decides that they don't like us anymore. Like, I don't know. We should talk about something happy.
Yeah.
Seen any specials on Dr. Kevorkian lately? Oh man. Anyway. But yeah, I do think Elon is as real as it looks, that he's just being like a spoiled child about stuff. I really think that it's strategic, and I think that he's doing it on purpose. But also there's people in the world, man. There's like, he is not top dog in the world at all. Like, there's plenty of billionaires, man, but there's like some trillionaires out there that we don't know anything about, who like what are they doing, you know? What
Oh
strings
yeah.
are they pulling? So
Yeah.
it's crazy to think about. I keep getting back on the conspiracy things. I'm sorry. It's one of my favorite topics to talk about when I have guests on. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, because you're my excuse to just unload all of this. Like, what's gonna happen? Like,
Yeah.
um, give me a second. I'm thinking. It's coming
All
to me.
right.
It's coming to me. We can go back. Let's go back to your art stuff now.
All right.
How long have you? So I know that your art has been kind of incorporated into your stream for quite a long time. How long were you doing artwork before you started streaming? Have you been doing art like your whole life, or was it a hobby that you picked up like recently before you started streaming?
Let's see. I've been like drawing in general. Since let's see, probably since I was about 9 or so, 9 or 10. I started doing like traditional art with like markers, colored pencils. I used to draw a bunch of like I was really into fairies when I was 9. So I drew fairies all the
I like how
time.
you had to throw that in there. You were like, I was really into fairies, but
I
like
was
when I was
really into
9.
fairies, yeah. So I was always drawing fairies, and
Now it's
then it
just
turned
cursed Kirby
from
art.
yeah.
We've
So
evolved.
then it turned from fairies to like video game characters. Like I would draw Kirby characters, and then I got into Sonic, and so I'd draw Sonic characters. Um, and then like I would draw Mario characters as well when I was around probably like 10, 11 or so. And then when I was like 13, I got a drawing tablet, which I still use the exact same drawing tablet to this day, actually, and it still works. And so
That's awesome.
10 years ago, I started doing digital art. And I got into it really quickly. So yeah, I've been drawing in general for probably about, oh goodness, math.
I'm how
Nine
old?
years
Divide the
old
9.
or 10. Okay, so 4 years subtracted from okay. Yeah, so like I guess like about 13, 14 years, something like that. I've been doing art in general, and I've been doing digital art for about 10 years now. So
How do you think your work stacks up from when you first started to now? Because I've seen some of your year-to-year comparisons, and man, there's usually a really big difference. So you do level up a lot year after year. You put a
yeah,
lot. You can tell you put a lot of time and heart and passion into it, and I think that's amazing.
yeah, my very first digital art piece. I remember I was trying to. Well, my very first digital art piece was like it was a drawing of Rayman actually. And then
That's
I
so
was like,
random.
yeah, I was
I
like,
just
I
got my
wanted to
art.
draw Rayman.
I'm gonna do
um,
digital art. What am I gonna draw first? Rayman.
Rayman, yeah. So I drew Rayman. And then the second piece I drew these two pieces on the same day, so I kind of count them both as my first pieces, I guess. Um, I was like, I want to draw like a person, and so I just came up with a person in my head. It's just like a person with like
No way. A person that didn't exist before.
no way.
No way. It's never been
So
done.
just this like girl, like she, like the way I drew her at the time was kind of anime-esque, I guess.
Mhm.
She, had like brown hair, pink zip-up jacket, blue eyes, whatever. And so I think I redrew her a few years ago because I was like, I want to see how much I've improved with this. I really need to do it again because I've even improved since that point. But
Right. That's what I was saying. Like your year-to-year comparisons that I put out. I remember because you redo your profile picture every year too, and I
yep.
man, and what's crazy? You know what's really crazy about it is sometimes I can't even tell which one is the old one and which one is the new one because they both look so good. And it's like, well, wait, is this one
Yeah.
better than that one, or is that one better than like which one's the newer one? Because they both look amazing, But it's like the style changes, and I think that's like you're evolving as an artist, and I think that's
Yeah.
wonderful. that you can see
Yeah.
that, you know.
I'll be redrawing that here in like a week or something. So
Is it? Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's already time. Yeah, we're at the end of the year.
It's
So
already time to draw it again. So yeah. Oh my
you
god.
should do
Yeah.
like a collage of all of them, like have like a paneled collage of all your different profile pictures. I think that'd be super cool. You could do that as
I
like a cover photo or something for your Twitter or your Twitch. I think it'd be badass.
I I need to at this point, because I've done so many at this point that I can't, like, so last year I well, this year, I guess, I uploaded the new one, and then I said, here are the 4 previous years. Well, now I have 5 previous years. So I can't put it in a 4 image thing like Twitter allows you to do anymore. So, yeah, I'm probably going to have to put them in some kind of collage or something. So, yep, that's they're just going to keep accumulating. So, yeah.
The accumulation of Tripdraws. I love it.
Yep. Yep.
It's
Yeah,
so
my
good.
very first icon. I looked back at the very first icon that I did, and I'm like, oh man, that has sure changed a lot. So, goodness.
Can only imagine. Well, we are getting dangerously close to time. So I usually take this opportunity at the end of the podcast to ask if you have any projects coming up that you want to talk about that we haven't talked about yet. Do you have anything you want to say to your viewers or my viewers? Do you, and then after that we'll ask for a final thought. So let's just say, do you have any messages you want to convey? And I mean, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be stream related if you don't want it to be, but definitely the floor is yours. Feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Or if you just want to give like a positive message to everybody, that's usually the final thought. So we can do both. We can do both. You're special. You can do all of it, Trip.
Nice. Let's see. I guess. Well, first of all, why would Trip do this? And I also have merch for it too. So
go check out her merch store, because why would Trip do this? That is the question.
Why would Trip do this?
Why?
Let's see. I don't really have any upcoming projects that I know of. But besides the whole Street Fighter thing.
Oh yeah, talk about that. You got the Street Fighter thing coming up.
Right, yeah. So this month has been a very generous month, and so I promised people that if I hit a certain amount of subscribers, I'd play Street Fighter for the first time while also cosplaying as a Street Fighter character. And in this case, I chose Chun-Li because that's the character I'm probably the most familiar with. And yeah, so the costume arrived on Christmas Eve. And I'll
also,
be
to be fair,
that.
I think Cammy is probably pushing some TOS guidelines on Twitch, so Chun-Li's probably the better fit.
Yeah.
Although you would probably also get like triple the amount of subscribers.
Yeah.
Trip's a hot tub streamer now, guys.
I am. Yeah, that's what I'm doing in 2023. I'm becoming a hot tub streamer.
And you're gonna hit partner. We're willing it here and now. 2023, I think, Trip, if you stay consistent and keep your schedule the way you're doing, I have full faith that I think you're gonna become partner.
We will see.
So when it happens, I'm gonna pull this clip and I'm gonna be like, look at this. Look what I said. Okay.
Look, yeah.
Instead of Darkwing killing celebrities, it's going to be me trying to will good things to happen for people that I love. So,
well, Darkwing needs to say that this will happen then, because he said that Betty White would never die, and here we are. So.
He kills celebrities. He has like a Death Note power. That's not going to help you hit partner.
Wait, so if he said that Betty White would never die, then he needs to tell me that I'll never hit partner, so that way the universe is like, okay.
Maybe that would work. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Darkwing just needs to talk me down, and then I'll hit partner. So.
Oh no! Don't fill his head with ideas. But all right, so we have come to the final thought. So the floor, The florum?
The forum.
Floor. The florum is yours. If you have
The forum is yours.
the positive message you want to release, imagine that you're in front of 1 million people right now, and you get to say something to those 1 million people that you know, whatever you think they need to hear.
All right. Let's see here. Me in front of 1 million people.
Sorry, I didn't mean to break you.
Do the very best you can, and your very best will be different each day. You don't have to do the same things that you did yesterday to do your very best, and your very best will always be your very best. There you go.
Hell yeah. Can we get, you need to put that on a t-shirt for your merch store.
The whole entire paragraph.
The whole entire thing. In a readable font, of course, but just the whole thing. Or it could be the back of a shirt. And then at the end, it just says, by Tripdraws.
Light up my life, Sailor Moon.
Light up my life, Sailor Moon. Yes. That is such a positive message. No, that was really good, Trip. I think that was good. I think everybody should do their very best. I am gonna remember that. I'm every time I'm feeling bad or need a mantra, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna remember that time that Trip said I need to do my best, and my best doesn't have to be the same every day.
Yeah, just do it for Sailor Moon.
Do it for Sailor Moon. Do it for Sailor Moon. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, guys. I want to thank my guests again, Tripdraws. Again, one of my best friends, wonderful human being, huge nerd, and we love her to death. Please go check out her channel. It's been posted underneath her, the entire video, twitch.tv/Tripdraws. You can also find her other socials there, and she does some wonderful artwork. Sometimes she has commissions open. We didn't really talk about that, but she does do artwork. Just look for the commission stuff if you're looking to get something done. But check her out on Twitch. You know, she's a wonderful creator. She is one of the best video game players of all time. She beats me and stuff all the time. I was very surprised during Super Mario today. She let me win for once, which was nice. So
nice.
So with that, I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. I'm looking forward to episode number 5. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek here real quick. I got to pull up my Discord and see, pull up the schedule here real quick. But next week we have, who's after Tripdraws? Who's after Tripdraws? Urka Merka.
Hey.
Urka's going to be my next guest. She is also a wonderful human being. I love that we just have an entire schedule all the way through April of wonderful people. No repeats yet, but as soon as I run out of people to ask, I will start asking people to come back for another episode of this where we can talk about the episode beforehand and kind of see how far everybody's grown and what things have changed. And I am super excited about all this. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for watching. My name's Optometron. You can find my stuff listed in the comments below. And you guys have a wonderful night or day, whatever time it is. You don't have to watch this at night. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.